Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 6th grade concept of ordering rational numbers. This is standard 6.2D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 36 of the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we just need to find which of these lists is in order from greatest to least, right? So that's biggest to smallest. Let's open up our graph draw feature, increase the transparency so we can see what's going on behind there. And we need greatest to least, so that's going to be big to small. And so we have some fractions and some decimals. So in order to make this work, you know what, let's make them all decimals, and because if they're fractions, I'd have to have the same denominator, right? And so let's just make them all of them into decimals, and we'll probably make them all go to the hundredths place, right? Okay, so like you see A right here, we've already got all we need is negative 2/3, right? So I should know that 2/3, right, if I go 3 divided into 2, it's going to be 0.66, and it just goes on forever, right? So I'm just going to label that as negative 0.66, and it goes on forever. And then I've got 9/5, okay? So 9/5. So let's see, 5 goes into 9 once. Let's see. That's okay, 1.8. All right, you know what? Here's the problem, though. I did all that work. A is not even going to work for me. I need biggest to smallest. Look how it's starting with negatives. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to start with negatives, right? And, you know, before I even do the work, take a look at B. I've got positive, positive, negative, negative, and then back to a positive. B is not going to work. When I'm looking from greatest to least, right? Your positives are over here, your negatives are over here. You need to start positive and go to the negative. So B doesn't work because it's got that positive after all of the negatives. You can't go zigzag back and forth. All right, so we've eliminated A and B. C and D both look like we got positive and negative. So you know what? We already did that 9/5, didn't we? Look at that, 1.23. This is 1.8. Negative 0.66. So no, 1.23, let's make that 80, right? These two need to be flipped, and quite honestly, these two need to be flipped. As these numbers get larger, 66 is larger than 64, it gets farther away from 0, which means it gets less. Okay, so I don't think it's C, so let's really hope it's D. So let's put these on our number line here, right? So I've got this 9, which is 1.80. Okay, so I'll put that right here, 1.80, 9/5. And then I've got my 1.23. It's closer to 0. 0.21, really close to 0. Then I've got my 0.64, negative 0.64, and then this negative 2/3, right? Remember, that's the one that was negative 0.66. And I did 66 because we wanted everything to go to the hundredths place, but it's actually 0.66 repeating. The 6's actually go on forever. And that's going to be really, really close right there. But you see that it's actually a little bit farther away from 0 than the 0.64, which means it is less than, right, because it's farther away. So we are moving from our right of 1.80 all the way over to our left of 0.66 negative. And so, yeah, that works. So our answer here is going to be D.